What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's Wolf College of Coffee vlog. My name's Adam, and today, as we love to do, we're unboxing another coffee machine. New San Remo that's just come up from Sydney. We're really excited about doing it, but in the interest of continuity for all of our other unboxings of San Remos, we do have to change one thing. There we go. Now we're ready to do an unboxing. So this is the new F18. It's just come up from Sydney for us. I did request a white one, so we're going to find out if that's what we got. But really looking forward to this. It's a machine that balances between the San Remo Zoe and the San Remo Cafe Racer. So let's get this box off and let's take a look. All right, we got a white one. Happy days. So let's get it unwrapped, take a look what came with the box. All right, unwrapped it is. So basically this machine has been designed to sit as that happy medium between a San Remo Zoe and a San Remo Racer. And what you find as a result of that is basically all the components and parts do walk that middle ground, but they've all seemed to have been custom designed to this machine, which is a fantastic thing. It would be easy enough to take, parts off an Opera, parts of a Racer, parts of a Zoe, and kind of scramble them all together and make a machine. But every stage along this has been custom designed to fit the model, which is based on an F18 fighter jet, which is very, very cool. So the back here is more like a San Remo Opera. You've got kind of the angles that cut to that, but then the top tray to hold all your cups in has been custom made for this machine. It's not like any other. Looking through all the parts that came with it, we do have an external motor as part of the machine. Now, that is where you find that juxtaposed side of coming off a Zoe that has an internal motor onto a Racer or an Opera that has an external motor. This one has the external. The other parts that are then included, pop this box open here. We've got 3 handles, 2 double spouts and a single spout. And as we go deeper into the box, I'm assuming there's always going to be, we've got, you can always tell the quality of the machine based on how thick the instruction manual is. So that's a Racer thickness of instruction manual. And always on page 1 with the San Remos, congratulazioni for buying a machine. So that's the instruction manual, and we'll go through that in a sec, just make sure I install it right. And then deeper in, a couple more components in terms of how to use all of the digital parts. We've got a couple of stands, a zip tie, and a drain hose. So all the standard components that come with the machine, but now comes the fun part where we get to chuck it up on the bench, fire in some power, and see what all the heads-up displays and how it runs coffee. So let's get it over there. We made it. We're on the tech bench. One thing I'd like to say about the coffee industry as a whole, and it is that it seems like we've gone from having really heavy machines that used to be made of lead and elbow grease and cement to now somehow moving back into having really heavy coffee machines, because this thing weighs a ton. But coffee machines are not designed to be carried. They're just designed to sit on a bench and look pretty. So that's my argument to be had. Now, one of the things that I will say about this machine is absolutely when it comes to that balance between the two worlds of having a Racer and a Zoe and this sitting right in the middle, is that it contains all the technology you wish that the Zoe would have and has taken away some of the things that Operas and Racers may not seem to find as necessary parts. Definitely San Remo have done some learnings from those machines though. Some of the changes we found when installing this, for one, the threaded hose that comes with this machine, the connections for it are all great. Interestingly, they are male-ended on the pump, which I've never really seen before. Generally, any threaded hose for any machine is a female-to-female hose, and then all of the connections on either the machine or the water filter are the male ends. I've never really seen male-ended hoses out in the field, so I'd be worried about not being able to get my hands on one if I lost the one that came in the box. So that's just a thought. But look, they've definitely had learnings from the Racer, which used to and still does have the pump plugged in under the machine as a square plug. It was all too easy to knock it out. We had customers calling us going, oh my God, I've run out of pressure, where's all my pressure gone? And it was something as simple as a staff member had wiped under the machine and knocked the plug out. They've learnt from that. They've now hardwired the pump to the machine. That then leads off to a singular cable, very similar to most external pump machines that you see from the likes of La Marzocco, where it's a small connection just to the pump. So that's a fantastic addition to have. When it came to getting it up and running, it's a 25 amp machine on this one, it's a 32 on the 3 group. The downside to having multi-boilers is that yes, they require more power and yes, they weigh a lot more. But what it gets and what we'll go through now are some of the specs behind the machine and why having a 25 amp multi-boiler gives you what you need over a ZO if you want to start playing in new realms of specialty coffee. So let's go through that now. All right, so the statistics behind this machine and what makes it a great multi-boiler. For one, the E61 style group heads and being a multi-boiler means that you get much greater stability in terms of temperature control and controllability from the user's end, combined with the heads-up display, which yes, looks like a fighter jet and is pretty cool. That allows you a little bit more as a barista to be making changes and seeing what those changes are doing versus say a ZO, which is basically feedback based on time and your shot time and no more than that. This sits in that realm of giving you what the temperature is and allowing you to adjust temperature on each individual head. The shots and programmability, you've basically got 4 programmable doses on every head. So all up, you've basically got 8 different doses that you can play around with. The display also allows you to keep track of when you're running those doses, what the volume of water is going through, what the temperature was, what the shot time was. So, and lastly, one of the other features, which again, taking a step up from the ZO, is things like pre-infusion. You do have more control over your pre-infusion and soft water infusion on your coffee. The design behind the machine, you see little bits and pieces and nods to some of the other parts of the range. We've got more of the ZO style handles, but then more the Racer style of hot water button and tea water dispenser. So cool little nods to the entire San Remo range, but as I said, there is a level of customization to this machine that makes it its own machine, which is really, really cool. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to take a top off the machine and take a look at what the inside looks like. So something we've just discovered that I had no idea this machine had, but similar to a Racer and an Opera, the top heating element is actually sitting up here. I had no idea that was there. This is the joys of unboxing. So again, a step up from the ZO where it's just residual heat from the tank. This has one of the active warmers built into the machine, meaning when we do dine-in cups, they are at maximum temperature, which is, yeah, I had no idea that was there. All right, so here we are on the inside, and yeah, it's pretty much got about as much technology as I thought it would. You can absolutely see, and I will point out a little bit here, so you've got the multi-boilers, one for each group head as well as the main steam boiler back here. Similar isolatability to what we see on the Racer, which is when we want to work on each steam wand or steam tap, we've got the isolating points just before them. Easy access to both solenoids on all sides, as well as the flow meters and flow restrictors, which is cool. It's really, really good to be able to access everything from the top, especially when, as we noticed before, the machine does weigh this much, and to get under it or around it or through the front would be a bit of a fight. So it's great to be able to kind of pop the top, get straight to the boilers, get straight to the restrictors and anything that may be problematic or may block, but otherwise everything's kind of been isolated up the front here. All your wiring's at the front as well, which is really, really good. And as we said, really surprised to have heating in the cup tray, which is a great feature to have. That's the San Remo F18. Very cool machine. Love the style, love the fact that it's built on that fighter jet mentality and concept. The incorporation of some of the elements of other machines within their range, and definitely the learnings that they've taken from those as well, having been integrated into the build of this, means they are really listening to their customers, which is a great thing. Look, it's a middle of the price range for their range of machines, but it's far from a middle of the machine kind of machine. We're really happy with it, and thanks for the guys for setting it up. Thanks to Nick, Tim, other Tim, Santiago, and the whole team at San Remo for this. It's a really, really cool machine. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching this week's Wolf College of Coffee vlog. If you'd like to watch another video, you can click one of them here. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe so you can always see the next video when it comes out next week. If you'd like to leave a comment or like below, we'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, grab a cup of coffee and come back soon. I can wait.